McNair is that before we talk about Black History Month, women of color in sports, we need perspective. And it's interesting that that story we can share with each other in an institutional setting of academics, high achievement academics. And imagine not being able to participate for something as, what should be as insignificant as race. And that legally, it's okay. So fortunately for all of us, given that time period, the McNair family didn't suffer any more that day than they could have. But consequentially, look how it turned out. So that's why I really do believe faith is believing in advance will only make sense in reverse. Particularly those of you who are athletes, you know how hard you work. You know how impossible it is to, on a given day, win or accept losing. And so take into consideration that life can be difficult and challenging, and sometimes more difficult and challenging for others. Whether that is an issue of race, whether that is an issue of sex, whether that is an issue of lifestyle choice, whether that's an issue of physical disabilities and abilities. We are all the same, but not quite created as some people would consider equal. So what I'd like to do is, first of all, just express how delighted I am to be here, and really how blessed and honored that I feel that you chose me to share this evening with you, and to maybe give you some insights and information on women of color in sports. So one of my favorite sports stories is really the history and some of the timeline of what we know as American baseball. So imagine 1839, sort of formally the game is invented, and some people challenge whether it's Abner Doubleday or others. 1845, the rules of the game are pretty much incorporated in the standard set. 1846, the first official game. 1866, organized women's baseball. 1867, there would be a women's team. They're called the Dolly Vardens. And they would actually be the first team at any level to be paid to play baseball. Interestingly enough, these were African American women. And I remember discovering this and thinking, how is that possible? So who knew? And the historical perspective I find very interesting, because later, when the All-American Girls Softball League would actually be established in 1943, anyone here seen the movie A League of Their Own? Yeah. That's one of my favorites. So remember the scene when the foul ball gets away?